Hi all, Brad Wright here from the Single Malt Whisky Club, and this month we have a couple of beautiful whiskies to talk about as usual. The first is from a couple of truly dedicated artisanal distillers, David Pearce and Stephen Grigul from 5Nines in Adelaide, just outside of Adelaide. A truly special, even milestone release from these talented South Australians, bottled exclusively for the Single Malt Whisky Club. And second up today is another offering from the Italian indie bottlers Wilson and Morgan. After the popularity of last month's Wilson and Morgan 2010 Kalila, we are excited to offer yet another from their stable, this time on the almost opposite end of the flavour spectrum. The Glenallachie 2014, bottled 2020-21, aged in a single first fill Oloroso butt, and this sherry bomb is exclusive in Australia to our members. So to our malt of the month for October is the 5Nines Tawny Special Edition. Bottled exclusively for the Single Malt Whisky Club, this whisky represents a glorious milestone for this young distillery. The boys at 5Nines were super excited to hear we'd chosen this whisky from the samples they'd sent, because this one has seen them involved in the whisky at all stages. A bit of background here, the 5Nines boys are pretty hands-on distillery owners in every sense, right down to building their own still. They contract grow their own barley sauce, incidentally from the same grower as Ian Schmidt from Tin Shed Distilling. They mill, steep and ferment themselves, and of course they distill themselves in their own built still. This whisky goes one further again. The barrels used were all researched and individually sourced by the 5Nines crew from South Australian wineries, and then steeped for months with South Australian Tawny, once again sourced from 5Nines, before being filled with their own glorious new make. So 5Nines are very excited with this one, as they see it as having control at every step of the way, which is how they want to keep moving forward. And so here it is, the 5Nines Tawny Special. And just look at that rich, deep walnut colour there. But more importantly, how does it taste? Well, the nose, it's super rich, it's fruity, spicy, and there's like also a baked egg note, like sort of like bread pudding, I guess. On the palate, oh yum, lovely and mouth coating. A little dry at first, but then a deep, sweet, rich fruit pudding sweetness develops. There's some marmalade notes in there as well. It's beautiful. And the finish, the finish, wow. It's a long, mouth-watering pepper fruit tingle, I guess. Yum. This is a big hug of a whiskey, rich and round and luxurious, perfect for settling in after a roast dinner with some Stilton crackers, a few mates, and many hours before dawn. If you've got a cigar or two, all the better. It's certainly up to it. It's nice. Yum. Yeah, well, all right. We better move along to our next one before I pour another dram of this. So this month's optional extra is from Wilson and Morgan, who are Italian independent bottlers of Scottish whisky. Now, we know we blew some heads off last month with their insanely delicious, if you're a peat freak, Kalila 10-year-old. This month sees a whisky whose flavour profile is almost a polar opposite to that one. This is a super dry sherry bomb, no less. The Glenallachie 2014 Sherrywood was distilled in 2014, bottled this year, and in between that, aged in Italy in a single first fill sherry butt. Now, it's not a particularly striking dark yellow colour at all, but don't let that deceive you. On the nose, it's very malty and oaky, definitely some honey notes there too now I think of it. On the palate, Wow. Oh, it's a very dry mouthfeel. There's some sour cherry notes there and some roast nuts. And then some sort of, you get those sherry sort of flavours come through in the end. And the finish becomes sweeter, but never really sweet. There's like Granny Smith apple notes there and sort of some caramel, like a Granny Smith apple, toffee apple, if you get. Really gets the cheeks tingling as it fades. It's a lovely, complex whiskey with lots going on at all stages. Its dryness, I guess, makes for a fantastic aperitif with pre-dinner canapes. If your tastes run towards a dry sherry, this is a whiskey you'll be very much to your liking. So our two offerings to choose from this month: a fantastic milestone whiskey from South Australia's 5Nines, bottled exclusively for the Single Malt Whisky Club. It's warm and comfy like a big leather armchair. Or the fantastically dry Glenallachie 2014 first fill sherry wood from Morgan and Wilson. Decisions, eh? It's certainly a tough one, but then again, there is a simple solution. I'm Brad Wright from the Single Malt Whisky Club. See you all next month. Slanjavar.